can recycle because I need to get a logo in the background with my.
Yeah, you do. I do too.
Maybe somebody can help me with that. We welcome you to our monthly Green Team meeting, which is the third Thursday of every month. We're excited about what's going on in the chamber. And we meet here at the intersection of lowering the cost of doing business and environmental stewardship. And today we have James Summerfield, an old friend of mine and been a friend of several Green Teams in the past. And he is gracing us with his presence. He's going to talk about what they do at Pro Clean Supply. And I'm going to turn it over to him.
Well, thank you, Lyndon. You know, when we talk about green cleaning, what we're really wanting to do is be able to clean. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, Jim, actually, I forgot something. I'm going to remind everybody to please, and I'll do the same because I didn't myself, but please mute your Zoom. And then when Jim is done, there'll be an...
Oops. That's okay. Hold on, Lyndon.
Okay.
Jolene did the clean sweep, and so she kicked.
How dare you, Jolene?
I was like, why are his lips moving and he's not speaking? Sorry about that.
That's all right. Just a reminder to mute your screens. Yesterday we had a Green Team meeting in San Joaquin County, and literally 5 minutes before it started, my my battery in my smoke alarm started buzzing. So I was on a ladder literally 3 minutes before it started. So we don't want to hear your smoke alarms. We don't want to hear all that other stuff. So just a reminder. And then when Jim is done, we'll take questions. You can raise your hand. You can put it in the chat box, so to speak, and we'll go from there. So, all right, Jim, take it away. Unmute yourself, Jim, if you can. Thank you.
And while you're doing that, do you need to screen share anything, Mr. Summerfield? No, you're not. You're still muted, sir. I think he's trying to get.
Oh, okay.
There you go. You're back.
There we go, Jim. All right, you're good to go.
Now I got to find my presentation.
Are you going to screen share, sir? I have to give you that permission.
Yes.
1 second. I think you can start.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but we cannot see your presentation yet.
Well, I have it on a slideshow. How come it's not doing it?
Does anyone on your team also have it? We can try it.
I got it. You can't see nothing, huh?
No.
Oh, you know, that slideshow again. No?
No.
Well, then can I just go ahead and read it off to you and
Sure.
do the best you can?
If somebody else has a copy, they could email it to Jolene or I, and we can put it up while you're talking.
Yeah, I don't have nothing ready. Anyway, when you talk about green cleaning, we're talking about cleaning safe and getting good results as you clean. Now, it's very obvious we live in a chemical world. And when we think about it, chemicals are everywhere. They're in the food we eat. They're in the clothes we wear. They're in our medicines. And they're in the air we breathe. So we see so much. Now, it's interesting when we talk about chemicals. The World Health Organization recently said that men use 1/2 gallon of pesticide um, every year to cover a half a gallon on every dry land on the whole earth. Now you think of that. What's an acre? Well, probably if you're around Virginia Avenue, 5 or 6 house lots would be an acre. Now, what percentage of the earth is farmed? 10%, 15%? And so we look at how these herbicides are being used in the Midwest. Much of the farming is done. It's called no-till farming. That means they never till the soil. They just plant year after year, and draw from each year just builds up on the ground. Oh, you don't have the dust storm to the 1930s, but the orchards and the vineyards we have here in the valley, you see the black strip down them. Well, that's because they're spraying the weed killers in the orchards and vineyards. Cotton fields, they spray the cotton before they pick it. In the 70s, we heard about Agent Orange, which is basically what they're using. And then, of course, all of us, or most of us, spray in our yards around the house too. Now, when we think about using chemicals, in the 1940s, they introduced DDT, and it got results. 30 years later, it was banned because they saw the long-term effects that science didn't foresee at the beginning. An example was that the bald eagles laid soft-shelled eggs, and as a result, when the mother sat on the eggs, the shells broke. And so they were worried about the bald eagles even surviving. And of course, we've heard in recent years that Roundup has had a lot of cancer causing things. Well, when I thought that the DDT story was over, but then on April 2nd, KCRH Channel 3 reported that sea lions in Northern California have been dying of cancer at a very high rate. And they recently found the cause. When the government banned DDT, they put the DDT that was around in drums. They took it out to the Farallon Islands, which is located 28 miles off the San Francisco coast, and dumped the DDT in the ocean. And they found that those drums are now leaking, causing the cancer among sea lions. Now, interestingly, the Farallon Islands are a national wildlife refuge, and it's a breeding area for the sea lions. So I asked the question, where was EPA when we needed them? And the question, I guess I have even from my own thought, is it safe to eat the fish and the crabs that we catch in this area? So men have for many, many years used the ocean as a dumping ground for these dangerous chemicals, and we can see the effect. So as we look at moving forward, we find that there's things that we can do to begin to find out about safety. For instance, California has Prop 65. Well, when I went on Prop 65, they had 23 pages of cancer-causing chemicals. I said to myself, wow. Now, 25 of them have since been delisted, but a lot of chemicals. And I was surprised with one of them. aloe vera in a non-decolorized whole leaf extract. Now, I don't know what's different about that than other aloe vera, but aloe vera is located in many, many products. Then we have the EPA, the United States Environmental Protection Agencies. We have Green Seal that can certify products to be safe both in manufacturing and use. And then we have the Food and Drug Administration. All disinfectants and sanitizers have to have an EPA number. And these are usually tested by an independent lab for their kill times. Times can range from a minute to maybe as much as 10. And to get the kill claim, the surface must remain wet during this time. Now, it's interesting, both Green Seal and EPA charge to have their name or their name put on your bottle. So if you have a bottle of that you use, either one of them, you have to pay them to get their name on the bottle. And to get an EPA kill claim, these have to be tested for each bacteria or germ or whatever. So you may be tested for COVID-19. You may be tested for C. diff, staph. So what most companies do for these kill claims, they will test the areas of interest. For instance, schools may have one place of interest, hospitals and stuff will have another. So when you look at running all these different tests, it can become very expensive to get these listings. We also have what we call an SDS sheet. And SDS sheet has 4 areas. They deal with the hazard to your health or to other environments. They have a fire hazard. They have a sustainability and so on. So when you look at a good SDS sheet, you want to have all zeros, if at all possible, on that sheet. Now, we have 2 very popular, safe plant-based cleaners. They are made from renewable plant-based extracts and clean about 95% of your cleaning needs. One of our very first customers was the Elk Grove School District. They replaced 8 chemicals with 1 safe product. Envirox number 117 did a better job than all the other chemicals that they had used. And a good example, when we do testing at schools, what's the dirtiest place in the school? Well, we have to go into the boys' restroom under the urinal. And usually the grout is black as coal. And in about 10 minutes, that black will turn to gray or beige because the products will remove the organic materials that are creating all the hazards. Now, the 117 and the 118 have basically a very simple formula. 117 is made from orange peel extract, and you have 1 product with 2 dilutions that'll clean 95% of your cleaning needs. And it has all zeros on the safety data sheet. Then the second product is called 118. It's made from different plant extracts. There's no fragrance and no dyes. And we have a lot of people that are sensitive to fragrances. So that was designed to help people with those kind of things. One recipe, 1 ounce per gallon for most cleaning. And then if you're cleaning your toilet, spotting carpet or grout cleaning, we use the heavy recipe of 12 ounces per gallon, and it goes a long way. And it can come with a red and a green spray bottle, so you match the recipe to the use. The green for light duty, red for heavy duty. Now, most, I think, if not all of our chemicals that we sell at ProClean have a 24/7 emergency phone number on the bottle. And I hate to say it, but emergencies do happen. So emergency can call that emergency number. They can give you the name of the bottle or the code. And in a minute or two, they will know how to treat the emergency situation. When it comes to hard water cleaning, that's a different animal. It takes different need than the regular cleaning. So your shower doors, your outside windows, your sinks, your counters, your toilets, your counters, you have to clean them special. Now, I had a picture here I wanted to show everybody what does hard water look like. I had a picture of Bryce Canyon, Utah, and it looks pretty nice, but doesn't look that nice in your shower door, does it? Hard water is calcium, and it's high in the pH scale. So when you look at on the pH scale, 7 is neutral, that's pure water. Alkaline cleaners like bleach are 13 on a pH scale, very high. And interestingly, when you look at one of the very most popular cream cleansers, Liquid Comet, it contains bleach. And so it has a pH of 13. Well, the only way you're going to get the hard water off your shower door is to rub it off the elbow grease. We have a very popular hard water remover. We call it Triple Play. It is probably our best-selling hard water remover that we have, and it will clean hard water and we let the chemical do the work. So what we recommend, wet the surface with a white sponge scrubber, then apply the Triple Play and let it do its work. Keep it wet. Sometimes if it's really a bad buildup, you'll have to reapply it once or twice. On the outside windows, if you are working on them, make sure you work on those when the sun is not hitting the glass. And think of what can be. 3 years ago, a couple from Troc came to my shop, and they had a black Kohler sink. And they bought CLR, and they said they wouldn't touch it. And I thought CLR was probably a half a decent product. So I told them to try the Triple Play, and I walked them through how to use it. And next time you're in my office, let me know how it worked. The next day he called me and said, we have a brand new looking sink. So he was so happy. Now, sometimes you get into an area on your sink where you have hard to reach tight spots. So there we often will use a liquid, mild acid cleaner called mint bowl cleaner. And what I do, I will lay down some paper towels, and I will soak the paper towel with the a mint bowl cleaner, and let us just do its work. Years ago, the old GM building that used to be on Kansas by the railroad track, when they moved the Modesto truck parts bought that building, and I was cleaning their floors and restrooms. When I got there, you couldn't see a single part of the stainless steel in the drinking fountain. It looked so bad. And I just let it soak for an hour or two while I was doing my work. And in about 3 cleanings, I had that sink looking like brand new. So yeah, it turned it over. Now, sometimes we look at chlorine disinfectants. Chlorine is on a neutral pH, is a much stronger disinfectant than bleach. And people often will use bleach as their disinfectant cleaner, but the pH scale, we find that neutral chlorine is far stronger. Bleach can also be pretty caustic because it'll burn even stainless steel. And so you'll find that neutral chlorine is a much stronger germicidal than that. Now, another way to look at applying chlorine is we have chlorine tabs. They're neutral chlorine, and they can have very rapid kill claims from 1 minute to 3 minutes or so for C. diff and COVID-19. Very effective, and it's much stronger than bleach, and is very good. So recently, Lavona sold Save Mart a Victory electric static sprayer, and they spray all their carts, their check stands, their delivery trucks, and other areas with the electric static sprayer, which will wrap all around and clean all sides of the surface so that people can spray and know that it's safe and clean. And so they've done that for your safety. And some people like they spray a lot. We also have a battery sprayer that you can use so you don't have to keep pumping so much. If you want to go that route, it's available too. Now, people sometimes ask, what's the difference between a sanitizer and a disinfectant? On the kill times, a sanitizer will read 99.9% effective. A disinfectant will read 99.99% effective. So it's stronger. If you get into a sterilant, it'll be 99.49s. That's what they will use in your operating room. Most people will use alcohol for hand sanitizer, but some people use so much hand sanitizer that alcohol can dry their skin out. So we also have a quat-based sanitizer that's also instant, and it'll do the very work of the alcohol sanitizer, but it doesn't dry your skin out like alcohol does. Now, in the early 1990s, some of the fire marshals were banning alcohol-based sanitizers because they were a fire danger, they thought. Well, that didn't last very long. And now I don't think I've ever heard it happening at all for a long time. Now, so as you look at the different things we have, we can also see things that work that we might not know about. Now, You can also get safe grease cleaning from plant-based products. Barbox makes a product called Greaseinator. And I have an interesting story about Greaseinator. We used to have a driver who worked for us. His name was Dusty. But everyone loved Dusty. He was a nice delivery man. And on the weekends, he would ride his motorcycle. My son Justin was after him for a long time, probably 2 years, to try the Greaseinator. And Dusty would say, "Don't believe in that junk." Well, finally, after a couple of years, Justin got him to try it. And what happened? Well, he came back and told Justin, when he used Simple Green to wash his motorcycle, he had to re-wax it every time he washed it. When he turned to using Greaseinator, he'd go 3 or 4 cleanings where he had to re-wax it. So that taught him a lesson and learning. Now I was going to show you a couple of tools that are common. Everybody knows what a toilet bowl cleaning brush is. How many of you know about a bowl cleaning swab? Well, we call them a Johnny Mop. Well, there's a place for both. The chemical companies love the bowl brush because they sell more cleaner. Brushes will not hold the chemical. The cleaner is heavily diluted. So they sell a lot more chemical to the same job. They like that. The Johnny Mop, you can apply the chemical where you want it at full strength. And what we do, we'll go in and plunge the toilet 3, 4, 5 times, get the ring a couple inches below the water line, rather, a couple inches below the ring, take the water from the bowl mop, then add the cleaner and make the application. And you have a full strength cleaning being applied to your thing. It works well and it's safe. And if your ring is bad, just to keep it wet, don't let it dry, and the chemical will work while it's wet. So my closing thought is, did you learn something today? Do you have any questions or comments?
All right. This is the question portion of our presentation, of Jim's presentation. Anybody have a question for Jim? Appreciate you bringing that up about the dumping in the ocean and the sea lions. I just saw that report this last week, Jim. That's not something that sounds like an easy fix.
Well, the only way you can fix it is raise those barrels up, and I doubt they'll do that.
Yeah, because it's going to create a whole mess with the movement of those barrels too. Any cleaning questions for Jim? He's the expert.
Sometimes.
Yes, Liz.
Hey, Jim, do you mostly just you focus on cleaning supplies and maybe less actual services?
Yeah, I don't do janitorial work.
Okay.
We only use supplies. We sell a lot of things besides cleaning supplies, like this week we're installing hooded partitions out in the Taco Bell in Escalon.
Oh,
So we
nice.
do a lot of things other than just cleaning supplies, but we can help you with that. We know some good cleaning people, so if you want a recommendation, we will only recommend people that we have good reports from. And we do get good reports on different cleaning companies.
Okay. Well, I'm actually interested in maybe we can exchange emails after this. I work for a cleaning company, so we would just be interested in learning more about your supplies.
Who do you work for?
PCS, Facility Services.
Great.
Yeah, let's see what we can make happen.
Okay. Yeah. And if you want, just come into our showroom on 701 Kearney, and my staff at the counter will be glad to help you.
Something.
Fantastic. Anyone else have a question for Jim? All right, well, Jim, thank you very much for your presentation. We appreciate you joining us today, and best of luck in the future. I think this is going to take us to our portion of the presentation where we give the floor to our attendees. If anybody has what we call a 30-second commercial or a 30-second statement that they want to make about themselves, their company, or what's going on in the community, now is your chance.
Can I go again?
Absolutely, Liz, go for it.
I don't mean to monopolize the meeting. I'm just really excited for CCS, especially as we're talking about sustainability and green. We were just awarded as a company the highest honor. We're the first cleaning company in the world to get it. It's the GBAC certification. So nice. GBAC stands for the Global Biorisk Association Council. They're a division of the International Sanitary Supply Association and the Clean Industry Management Standards. Anyway, what all that means is it's like the Oscars for the cleaning the cleaning
nice.
Industry. Like the
Very
FDA, cool. You guys did a great job. So anyway, it's really good for us. It's a really big deal, especially for us. So what that also means is that we utilize a lot of green, environmentally safe products. It's something that we invest in our company. And by that same account, we can also help other companies that we work for get certified to have cleaner buildings and more environmentally friendly cleaning products. So that's it.
Great. Thank you very much.
I believe you are one of our newest members, correct? Yeah, that's all. Yeah, and it'll be exciting to work with you also on getting green certified formally, which with the state of California through our program. I'll let Jolene announce I threw her off. She had to probably get the door. There's not many people in the office right now. We have something coming up on Tuesday. Do you want to give a simple update?
Tuesday, we will be celebrating Pizzeria Halt for their green ribbon cutting, which is our second one of the month and the year. So pretty exciting. That's for our our
California. Yep.
Sorry.
That's okay. Perfect.
I knew I threw you off. You didn't know that was coming. Can you tell us how many we have certified? Although this will only be our second ceremony because of COVID, give us an update on how many are registered and where we're at on certification.
We have five certifications done. We have 15 on hold, but 2 of them are at the Brim, which is Repsco, who will be hosting us next month for the Stanislaus Green Team. They are right there. Should be done shortly. What else? I'm sorry.
Nope, that's good.
Just a little idea about the Green Business Network. It helps businesses lower the cost of doing business. It's great for the environment. It improves the wellness and wellness of employees and productivity. And it's pretty easy. Go to thegreenbusiness.com, which I will put in the chat box, and do your checklist. And not long after, you will get your true Green State seal, and your business will be added to the website, which allows other businesses in the Central Valley to see who's also taking the lead in sustainability here.
Perfect.
Very good. Very good.
So we're on
I'm terrible at public speaking. I apologize.
No, you're fine. You're doing great. So I want to remind everybody that the next meeting is May 20th, and George Isaac and David Yara from Rep will be our speakers. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Trish or Jolene, do we have a speaker for June, or are we looking for one?
We don't currently have one, but we're
Okay. So let's spread the word on that. If you're interested in being a presenter in June, please let Jolene or Trish know. And before we sign off, is there anything else we need to cover?
I think I'll plant a public seed with Jolene to see if Liz wants to be a speaker in June.
If who does?
Liz does.
I love it.
Perfect. Yeah, there you go.
I was gonna email, but this is even better.
Great. Okay, well, thank you once again for attending. We appreciate your time. We know it's valuable, and thank you again to Jim Summerfield for his presentation. And we will see you next month, May 20th. Thank you.
Be well and stay safe, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Take care.
Take care.
See you next month, George.
All right. Thanks, Lyndon.